Hi guys, welcome to the show. The iridiots are here. All right.
Hello,
All
Yeah,
nice to see
right.
you all.
yeah, and you,
We're
and you.
back.
Good. We're back. We're back. We got a jam idea. It was a jam idea. This one, wasn't it? Of course it was.
It's a
They're all
jam idea,
jams
yeah.
ideas, aren't they? Most
Sam
of them
always
are.
has the ideas, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. He's full of ideas. Um, so we're gonna do. I can't believe we ain't done this already. It's sort of like a bit of an obvious one, really, I suppose. The A to Z of our favourite bands, or A to Z, wherever you come from. Could be A to Z, A to Z. And we're just going to run through every letter, our favourite band, might chat a little few seconds about it, but go around the houses. So obviously that starts from A, if anyone doesn't know. All right, all the way through to Z.
we could do Z to A just to
Oh
fuck it
no,
up.
no, fucking hell, no. So pretty simple. This is just our favourite band from that letter. Okay, all ready, guys?
Yep.
We're going to go round on my screen. We're going to go Jam first, then Dom, then Karen, then myself. So Jam, the letter A. What you got, mate?
Okay, there's lots of A's, obviously. There's AC/DC, of course, and Alter Bridge, Annihilator, etc., Anthrax. But I've gone for Alice in Chains. And my favourite album from 1992 is Dirt, and probably Wood is my favourite song, even though it probably doesn't fit in with the rest of the theme of the album, but it's still great. There we go.
Yeah, that is quick fire. That's good. Did you like that, Dom?
Fantastic.
No, that's
Excellent.
a very good choice. What
Excellent
you
stuff.
got, Dom, on your A?
Oh, we're doing around the houses. Oh, I
Oh
see
yeah,
what you mean. I
I'll
thought
get
we were just
confused.
spilling it all.
Oh no, I'll get
Oh, right.
confused.
Oh, this is going to take a while. Okay. Mine is AC/DC. Had to be AC/DC. Favorite album is For Those About to Rock, actually, which isn't a lot of people's favorites, but I love every track on that and seen them a million times, and there you go.
Perfect. Brilliant. Okay, what you got then, Karen?
This one was a no-brainer for me. A is for Anathema, British prog rock band from Liverpool. Favourite album is Weather Systems from 2012. One of the most beautiful albums I have ever heard, despite many thousands of listens. That's it.
Very nice, very nicely. That's why we bought Karen. That is why she's here, isn't she? Okay, well, we've got a match already. I'm going with AC/DC. My favourite album is Highway to Hell. Massive part of my upbringing. I do love all the Bon Scott era, by the way, and I love Back in Black, but not so much after that, But yeah, they're probably thinking back, probably the biggest part of my life. Maybe this whole alphabet. AC/DC have been massive for me, and I love listening to them now. So AC/DC, me and you, Dom, a match already. There you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, B, what you got then, Jen?
Didn't have many B's. Bullet from a Valentine I considered, but it's got to be Black Sabbath, hasn't it, for B. Favourite album, probably Heaven and Hell from 1980, with the title track being my favourite song on the album. Although I do probably, on reflection, prefer the Aussie albums, if you know, the Aussie era, if you know what I mean. But I think the best album is probably Heaven and Hell, most consistent.
Perfect. Brilliant, mate. Thank you. I mean, are we going to get... I wonder if we're going to get all four here. Good. It's a possibility here. What you got, Dom?
Well, we had a little discussion in our PMs about what is considered appropriate for this channel. Because we all know, I tend to skew toward, I'll take Lee's lead with the type of music that he reviews and all that stuff. We all know what that is. And it's a huge part of my life as well. But there are occasions where there are artists who I would consider a rock artist, but not necessarily fits into the hard rock, heavy metal vibe. And this is one of them. I did consider Black Sabbath, but I just have to say David Bowie would be my
Well
just
done,
so many
Dom.
albums.
Someone
Sorry?
had to say it. Someone had to say him.
So many albums.
I agree.
So many curveballs. My favorite album is Lodger from 1979. which again is not a lot of people's favorite, but that's the one that really solidified. You know, that was like, I don't know, it was 14 or 13 or something when that came out. It was just so weird and ominous. So yeah, that's it. David Bowie.
Perfect. Thanks, mate. What you got then, Karen?
I decided to go with Bush actually.
Oh.
British band. I absolutely love them. I've loved their whole career. They've made great albums. Latter output has been brilliant as well. This year's album's really excellent. And I'm actually going with that album. I Beat Loneliness from this year. I think it's absolutely fantastic album.
Good album. Good album.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Well, we ain't got a match, that's for sure. We have. Me and Jam have. This is weird, this one. I was thinking, when I was doing this whole list, just to quickly say, there's almost bands now beginning with B that if you said to me now, chuck something on, or I thought to myself, I'm going to chuck something on, I would chuck another band on. Because it's, at the moment, it's fresher, it's newer. But then I started to think, is that band going to be like I feel about Black Sabbath in 20, 30 years? Maybe not. Because these bands can come and go, can't they? So could have been if we did this list 10 years or 8 years ago, I probably would have had Alter Bridge at A, for instance, but now I haven't. So Blacktop Mojo, I was like, I love that band at the moment. They're like, I can't stop listening to them. But Black Sabbath, I couldn't argue with the Ronnie period, especially. The 3 albums plus the live album were all fantastic. Heaven and Hell I've got as well as my favourite album from 1980. So I just couldn't say that Blacktop Mojo were going to have an effect on me like Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules and Dehumanizer and Live Evil. So Black Sabbath for me for B. There you go.
I think we were chatting beforehand, weren't we, Lee? And we've said that we've all genuinely picked bands that are absolute favourites beginning with this letter. We haven't tried to be different or original. We've just said bands that we genuinely love.
Exactly.
I mean, Sabbath, come on. It's just, it's a slam dunk. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But I just really had to think about my life and albums and stuff, and it had to be Bowie.
Definitely.
Brilliant. Okay, C, what you got, Jam?
Okay, well, I was considering Alice Cooper. It's debatable whether that's an A or a C, but it doesn't matter because I've gone for Cinderella. And 1986's Night Songs is my favourite album. I definitely prefer that album. I do like the Blue. I do like Long Cold Winter, but I think I prefer the first album to anything else. And Somebody Save Me is my favourite song off the album. Fantastic.
Excellent choice, and also my favourite album from there, mate. Brilliant. Dom, what you got, mate?
Not a big surprise for anybody that knows me. The Cult.
Yeah.
In my top 5 bands of all time. Seen them a million times. My favorite album is Sonic Temple, which is also my favorite hard rock album of all time. It just came out the right time of my age and still love it. So The Cult.
Very cool. Excellent, mate. Thank you. What you got, Karen?
I'll keep this brief because I mentioned this in the last show. I'm going for Carcass, brilliant British death metal band, and I'm going for the Heartwork album from 1993, which I think they're just their most brilliant album. Love them. Nice.
Good variation on this one. It was really weird when I came to see. I was thinking, I reckon there'd be loads of bands we see, because I started to go. Wasn't for me either, but I've gone with Crimson Glory. So not much of an output, but they're, again, a big, the first 2 albums especially, massive for me. Working on a new album as well. Transcendence is my favourite album from 1988. I think it's a classic. The singing on that, especially Midnight, is one of the best singers that's ever, rest in peace, one of the best singers that's ever been around. So Crimson Glory for me on C. Okay. D,
well, everyone knows what I'm going to pick, but I did want to pick Dire Straits or The Doors, but it has to be Danzig, doesn't it? And going to be 1990s Danzig 2 for the album, and Devil's Plaything is probably my favourite song on the album. So there we go.
Yeah, that was given, I suppose, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a given.
Yeah, that was definitely a given. Good one, mate. What you got then, Dom?
D for Dio. Slam dunk, really, for me. There's only one album in his entire catalog I don't like. So and that's
Angry
like what, 15
Machines.
albums or
Angry
something.
Machines.
Angry Machines, yeah. But ironically, the album I'm going to pick as my favorite at the moment is the one directly before it, Strange Highways, which was obviously overlooked at the time. But it was almost Dehumanizer Part 2. We've discussed this on the channel before. Just a great overlooked album.
Excellent choice, mate. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Karen, what you got?
Well, if Carcass were the most important British death metal band, I'm going for Death on D, because I think they are probably the most important death metal band of all time. Original protagonists of death metal. I was tempted to go with the debut album for that reason, but I'm going with 1998's The Sound of Perseverance, which is an amazing album. Love it. Yes,
Very
so
nice.
Death.
You've got a vast, with your what you like, haven't you, Karen? I've noticed this. I mean, we ain't
Oh, I
just
like,
about rock.
yeah. No. I love that. I love rock and metal in all its forms.
Very good, very good. I know you all have more than I have, to tell you the truth. For that reason, D is a no-no. It's just ridiculous for me. It's Dio, isn't it? So, Holy Diver, Last in Line, and even Sacred Heart were a massive part of. I love Sacred Heart a bit too much, I think, when I was younger. I thought it was better than it actually was because I was so into Dio. But I've got the first two albums. I can't really split them, but I always sort of edge towards Last in Line. The only two bands I thought about, which were anywhere near, was Dokken, but it just wasn't good enough through the whole catalogue. And then Def Leppard. I mean, if they carried on how they did with High and Dry and Pyromania, who knows? But obviously not good enough to be my favourite band. But there you go. Dio. Of course it's Dio. Okay. E,
yeah, didn't have many E's, but I do quite like some Europe, but I couldn't put them in there. They're nowhere near my favourite band, so I've gone with Extreme. I sort of got back into them a bit more recently because I went to see them a couple of weeks ago, so I've been listening to them. But I mean, for me, it's got to be Extreme 2 from 1990, Porn Graffiti, and Decadence Dance is my favourite song on the album, I think.
great album. Great song. Very cool. Dom?
I'm going with Enough's Enough, which is a band that most people probably think had a very short career, but they actually have about 15 albums. The singer, Donnie Vai, who's not in the band at the moment, is just an exceptional songwriter, I think. And they really transcended the whole glam metal thing now. So my favorite album is Strength, which is their second album, which was, just front to back. It's a classic of that era.
Very cool. Very cool. Karen?
It's got to be Evergrey. Swedish progressive metal band Evergrey. Absolutely. They've never made a bad album, but I have picked 2016's The Storm Within as my favourite. Really looking forward to see them supporting Catatonia in December. Can't wait.
Cool choice. I've got to say, I mean, I've never really followed Evergrey like massively, but that last album, absolutely love that last album.
Great, isn't it? Yeah.
Really good. Very good choice. Eclipse for me, a massive part of the last 15 or so years, wherever they've been together. I've followed this band probably for their second album, I think, or third album, but every one of them has been fantastic. Momentum being my favourite one of 2017. I think a massive part of the Swedish heavy rock scene. They just get better and better. They're brilliant. But Momentum 2017 is my favourite. Eclipse are just amazing. Here you go. F.
Right. As you know, I all love the Foo Fighters, and I do like Florence Black. They're getting right up there, but for me, it's got to be Faith No More. And my favourite album is not The Real Thing. It is Angel Dust from 1992. And my favourite song from that album is probably Land of Sunshine, actually. Although the whole album's amazing, but it's so hard to get into because it's so strange, but it's very good.
It's a strange album. Great album, though. I like it.
Great album.
Angel Dust, yeah. Good choice, mate. Dom, what you got?
Well, I'll give you my second choice first. Foreigner was right up there for me, but as we say, if it was just the first three albums, but then they just got very schmaltzy and very AOR. Well, not even just pop So I've gone with this will be the most current band. This is Frost. Frost
Oh,
with an asterisk, who are a prog rock band. The last 10 years, they've just created some of the best music I've ever heard. Last year's was my favorite album of the year. So yeah, I guess I'll go with the most recent from last year.
Very
the
nice.
one
Thank you.
before that was a belter as well.
Oh,
Brilliant.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Day and Age was
they
amazing.
really transcended that whole kind of
Yeah,
neo prog thing. Whereas everybody should be listening to them. They're not, hard to
yeah.
get into. They're just
No,
fantastic.
no.
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks, mate. Karen?
Well, I had a real dilemma because I almost said Frost as well, but actually I changed
Mm.
my mind and at the last minute, and I went for Fate's Warning instead.
Hmm.
They're a British. I'm going to say progressive metal-ish band, and I really do think that Fate's Warning, Queensryche were kind of like, and Dream
Hmm.
Theater, they were the original
Hmm.
cornerstones and blueprint their music for progressive metal. So
Yep.
I've picked the album Disconnected from the year 2000, which is a fantastic album. It's just got this amazing intro that gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. It's really sinister. So yeah, Disconnected by Fate's Warning.
Yeah, I haven't heard all of Fate's Warning, but I've heard some. I do like it. Great singer as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
amazing singer. So F, I like you, Dom, was thinking Foreigner because I like a lot of Foreigner stuff. But in the end, I've got to thank Jam because it's Florence Black. So
Wow.
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, I mean, it has helped this year seeing them live as well. I saw them live and they were just, oh
Yeah,
man, made me my
brilliant
favourite
live.
band of the whole weekend. So yeah, both the albums are fantastic, especially I think the latest one. So really looking forward to new stuff from them. So amazing band,
I was
absolutely amazing.
gutted. They were playing just down the road from me at Chepstow Castle back last month, and I was flying
Yeah.
home from holiday that day and I missed it.
Oh,
Yeah, they're a great band.
they
Yeah.
are. They really are. So yeah, Florence Black for me for F. So some good new stuff coming into the list. This is good. Okay, we're going to G. What we got then, mate?
G, only a choice of two, Ghost or Guns N' Roses. And at the end of the day, I have to think Guns N' Roses I grew up with, and Appetite for Destruction I've heard too many times, but it's still a great album. You can't deny it. And it was part of our growing up. But what I've done is I've cheated and I've said a 1991 Use Your Illusion combo. The best tracks from all of them would be the album at the moment, just because I've not heard Appetite too much, and I'd probably say Coma's my favourite song from what would be that album. There's an Use Your Illusion one, obviously, but there we go.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Dom, what you got, mate?
Well, honorable mention for Genesis, just because they're so great. But I would hate for anybody to think that I'm talking about Invisible Touch or something. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about that. My favorite era is Duke, Abacab, and Mama album. That's the best. But I've gone for Nick Gilder, who is a Canadian artist. He's mostly known as a one-hit wonder for Hot Child in the City, which isn't a very rockin' song. But his first three albums are the epitome of glam, pop, rock, just incredible stuff. I see they were really hard to find for a long time, but I see that they're online now, so they're very easy to access. Just a forgotten guy that was just fantastic. I guess City Lights would be my favorite, but it's hard to pick. Frequency's great too. So yeah, Nick Gilder.
Nice. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Karen?
Gee, there's loads of bands and artists that I love beginning with G. I realised trying to do this. Ghost and Gojira, they were on the list. I really love Ghost. I don't think you can't like Ghost, really, can you? Can you? Anyway, of course, I've gone with Peter Gabriel. He's one of my greatest
Ah,
heroes.
yes.
And I've picked Peter Gabriel 3, or Melt, from 1980, mainly because it contains Games Without Frontiers, which is one of my favourite songs ever, one of the greatest anti-war songs ever written. Peter Gabriel, it's got to be.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Well, there weren't many G's for me, I've got to say. I think Guns N' Roses were one of them, but I literally can't. I don't think there's a song that can come on and I can hear Axel sing and I can't listen to it. So I've got, they were. If I could rewind back to 1987, was it when Appetite came out? 87 or 88, whatever it was. they would probably be my favourite band back then, and just I don't know what's happened. I think they disappointed me time after time as well, which has made me not like them. And I've gone for a new band again, so it's a southern rock band called Georgia Thunderbolts. American southern rock band, only 2 albums out. Got to say as well, the singer's ill at the moment. I think he had a stroke, so he's got really young as well. So I hope he gets better. TJ Lyle, great band, absolutely loved them. They couldn't make the Made of Stone festival. And that's why Florence Black were there. So it was a good replacement. But I really wanted to see Georgia Thunderbolts as well. Hopefully they'll come back. But great band. Okay, H.
Okay, I thought about Head Swim, thought about Hollywood Undead, as you know, I love them. And Hailstorm, of course, new band. But it's got to be Halloween, hasn't it, for me? And 1987's Key of the Seven Keys Part 1 is my favourite. A lot of people prefer the second one, but I think the first one's better personally. And, of course, the best song on the album is Halloween, the title track. Not title track, but obviously about the well, it's not the same. Spelt Halloween, isn't it? It's not spelled Halloween, but yeah, that title, 13-minute epic, brilliant song at the end has to be the best one.
I agree with everything you say there. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with my favourite H, but yes, best album, best song. Oh, the darker side of Halloween, isn't it?
Yeah,
Halloween, definitely. Great choice, mate. What you got then, Dom?
It's such a dark character, Lee. So,
I know. You don't know the half of it.
H, I've gone for another modern-ish. I'll say modern. They've been around for 20 years now. Hardcore Superstar for me.
Yeah, great band.
Sort of a seminal part of the Swedish hard rock renaissance. They were really one of the forerunners, and they're still making just great music.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick a favorite. Maybe Split Your Lip, or even was it 2 years ago? Abracadabra was fantastic too. So you can't really go wrong with any of their records, to be honest. But yeah, Hardcore Superstar.
Again, that's a late comer for me, and I've only really heard the last album. But man, what an album that was! Brilliant choice. Okay, Karen, what you got?
I've gone with British progressive metal band Haken for this one. They are, they're a great band. I've never seen them live. Would love to. The album I've picked is Virus from 2020. Haken.
Very cool. Might not be a surprise for me. I'm going with Heat, along with Eclipse. Probably, 2 of my favourite bands at the moment. Love the new album. I just think it's just fantastic. But I've chosen, just if I want to talk about 2 albums, I've chose Eric Gromwell, Address the Nation from 2012, which was brilliant, and then Kenny LaCremo on Welcome to the Future, which is a new album, is my favourite album from him. And again, caught them live, which is even more, and it's weird when you see a band live as well. It makes you even more like into the band, doesn't it? Well, as long as it ain't an awful performance, I suppose. But Heat, absolutely amazing. It was a no-brainer that for me. Okay, next one's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder. Here we go.
Yeah, there's only one thing I can be, and that is Incubus. I'm sure we'll all agree on this that we're going to pick them. No, that's only not. It's Iron Maiden, obviously. It's Iron Maiden, of course it is. Yeah, Iron Maiden. We all know my favourite album, Seventh Son, from 1988, and favourite song is Moonchild, the first song on the album, which is absolutely classic. There we go. We're going to get a 4-way tie. Let's see.
Right, Mr. Dominic McCauley, what you got, mate?
Yeah, I have to go with Maiden. Favorite album is Peace of Mind.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, everybody knows who they are.
Everyone knows who they are. Who are Iron Maiden? Anyway, Karen, come on, don't let us down.
Right, I almost said IQ, but then I thought, no, I can't. I've got to say Iron Maiden. I've got to say Iron Maiden just because, well, they're just so important to me, as I'm sure I know they are to everybody here. That Iron Maiden changed my life when I was a kid. The first album, Iron Maiden discovered it when I was 8 years old. 10 years old. And I've never looked back, been an Iron Maiden fan ever since. So that was my introduction to metal, and life-changing. So it's got to be Iron Maiden.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, I nearly went with Iced Earth. I
Wow.
mean, no, to tell you the truth, Iced Earth, I love them.
You love them.
And again, if you said to me now, what do you want to play right now? I'll probably play an Iced Earth song. I would, because it's just one of those things. But yeah, I mean, without Iron Maiden, where would Iced Earth wouldn't be here, would they? So, Peace of Mind, of course, and Power Slave. That's Dom's fault. It was always Power Slave. Now it's Peace of Mind. I don't fucking know. But I mean, a run of albums really from the debut for me up to Power Slave was one of the best runs ever in metal. So yeah, Iron Maiden. They might not be everything I want right now, but man, they've got such a good catalogue. You know what I mean? That you can't argue with the back catalogue, can you? So Iron Maiden. There you go. Okay, Jay.
Yeah, and this is a 50-50 for me, but I think I'm just going to go with a band that was probably more important to me at the time, and that was Jane's Addiction rather than Judas Priest. I think just because I was sort of fairly young in those days and alternative music was coming in, it's just something different, because we had the traditional music we grew up, traditional metal, and then for new different things like Faith No More and Jane's Addiction and all this to come out really sort of captured my imagination. So yeah, Jane's Addiction, love that. Well, I love all their albums, actually. Even the newer ones are really good, but it's got to be Ritual de Habituel from 1990 and 3 Days. Another epic, long 30 or 10, 12-minute song is my favourite song on the album, which is quality.
Nice. Thank you very much. Dom, what you got, mate?
For me, a huge band for me, Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Right back from the day. I think I heard Sad Wings of Destiny when I was like 8 years old or something, you know. My favorite album is British Steel. Just, I think that's just classic metal album. Just kind of ushered in that kind of melodic but heavy era of music. So yeah, Judas Priest.
Nice, thank you, mate. Karen?
I'm going for Judas Priest as well. I'm a huge classic Priest fan, less of a fan of the newer stuff. I don't mind it, but yeah, classic Priest. And I'm going for Screaming for Vengeance.
Nice, thank you very much. Well, I had a battle with two here. I had Yawn.
Yeah, I did too.
Great band. I thought about it, but in the end, I went for a bit of I thought, right, I've got to have something really heavy, so I've gone for Journey on mine. So, so the two albums for me growing up were Escape and Frontiers, were just classics for me. They're very different as well, so it's almost like picking one is a bit weird. You know, to me they're totally different albums. So I'm going to just say both of them were just brilliant albums. Love Journey, always have, always will. This next one could also be interesting. Kay.
Yeah, I think we might get three. I'm not sure about Karen, because I think I know who she's going to pick, but we'll see. I thought about Killswitch Engage, Miles Kennedy, of course, Catatonia, but I've gone with Kiss. It's got to be Kiss, hasn't it? And my favourite album is 1982's Creature of the Night, which is the first album I ever heard, probably back in 1982. And it's the heaviest album I would say. And I love it. It's just absolutely brilliant. And I think I Still Love You is probably my favourite song. Probably the first power ballad, I'd argue, because it's not a ballad, is it? It's pretty heavy.
Very cool. Thanks, mate. Kiss, excellent. It's got to be Dom. I'll be really disappointed.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to be. I mean, talk about a band that was so huge for me, and then they've just disappointed me so much in the last couple decades. Just so sad what they've done to it. But yeah, the first 20 years were just impeccable. First band I ever saw, but my favorite album is Music from the Elder, which is not a popular choice. But I think it's just a great album. There you go.
I agree.
All right, coming in.
Tricky, because I am a big classic Kiss fan as well. But I have gone for Catatonia. Catatonia are one of my favourite bands, and I love everything they've ever done. And yeah, I can't not pick Catatonia. I'm so looking forward to seeing them again in December. And the album I've gone for is Dead End Kings. Very, very difficult choice, though, because there are a lot of albums by them that I love equally. So yeah, Dead End Kings from 2012.
Thanks, Karen. Do you ever take her to parties, Jan? Because she just ruins it every time, doesn't she? No, it is what it is, isn't it? It's, but you know, this.
Yeah, you got to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I've chosen Kiss as well. Especially for me, it was the non-makeup years I love Kiss for. The glam period, if you like, through the 80s. My favourite album is Lick It Up. I love that album. Yes, it's easy. The only other one I had was Kingdom Come, but they're a cover band, didn't they? So I couldn't really couldn't really choose them. But no, Kiss. That from Lick It Up to even for me though, it got a little bit crap in the end of the late 80s. But I love that run from Lick It Up. You know, Animalize. What's the other one? That's right.
Asylum.
Asylum. I really liked Asylum. So yeah, Kiss for me as well. Okay, we're on to L, weren't we?
We're on to L, yeah.
Only because I'm turning the page, so I don't know my alphabet. So I'm just making sure.
I think for L, mine's 50-50. If you'd asked me probably a year ago, I would have gone the other way round. So it's Linkin Park or Love Hate. I probably would have gone with Love Hate a year ago, but I've gone with Linkin Park because I really, really do like the new album. It was brilliant. And when we went to go and see him at Wembley, so I started listening to the older stuff again, and it's just, yeah, got right back into him again. I think, and also Hybrid Theory from 2000, which is my favourite album. It got me back into metal in a way, because you know what the end of the 90s was like. I think I wasn't really listening to much because it wasn't great, and Hybrid Theory is the first album I sort of bought again and went, yeah, I'm going to get back, back in this way. So yeah, and I go with Points of Authority as my favourite song on the album, I think.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Yeah, new metal.
Yeah.
As they say. Dom, what you got, mate?
Led Zeppelin. Got to go with Led Zeppelin. Everybody knows and loves them. My favorite album is Physical Graffiti.
Yes.
And enough said about them.
Bit of classic rock. Thank you very much. Karen, what you got?
Yeah, I love Led Zeppelin too, but this one I decided to go with a younger band actually that I just think everything they've ever done is brilliant, and that's the Norwegian progressive metal band Leprous. They're incredible musicians. They have an amazing singer. They are one of the best bands I have ever seen live. Very difficult to pick one album by them, but I'm going to say Malina from 2017. Amazing band, Leprous. I think they're a truly, truly progressive band.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I might have a match with Jam. I wasn't going to go for Linkin Park, but seeing as I like the new singer, I've gone for Linkin.
Yeah, right.
No, not really. No, I've gone way back. Lynyrd Skynyrd. I've gone for. I love Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yes.
And I think it'll always be the debut album. It's such a classic, and some of the, people might not want to hear Freebird again, but I love the band. That album's just full of classics, and well, we all know the history of the band, but what a band they were. Bad Boys as well, which I like. They were bad boys as well, weren't they? So very cool band. This could be interesting as well, I think.
Yeah, I think this is halfway. We've just gone halfway, so it's a lot back end of it now. Lots of M's, obviously. Love Magnum, love Massive Wagons, love Megadeth, love Mindfunk, love Motley Crue. But there's a choice of two. It's either the Misfits or it's Metallica. So I've thought about it, and I think it's going to have to be Metallica because they were just so important when we were younger, especially the first 5-6 albums were brilliant. My favourite sound, Justice for All from 1988. And I'm going for Dyer's Eve. There's no surprise as well. It's my favourite track on the album.
Very nice. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Mr. Dominic Macaulay.
This is another boundary pushing one, but I have to be honest. They are a rock band. Manic Street Preachers.
Oh,
they were a huge band for me when they first came out, and I followed them all the way through currently. My favorite album. I'm going to say Send Away the Tigers. It's just kind of a rebirth where they decided that they really are the Manics and they should just stick to that. So, Send Away the Tigers, Manic Street Preachers.
I've got a fun fact for Manic Street Preachers if you want to hear it. My lovely,
Okay.
my lovely darling wife Sarah. She loves
Yes.
the Manic Street Preachers.
Oh, good.
And in her younger wild days, she had tattooed on her foot. She had what's that line? We don't talk about love. We only want to get drunk. That one. And
Yeah.
obviously, when she met me, she had to become boring, so she's had it tattooed over now or something else. So
She tattooed over her Mannix tattoo?
yeah.
Fucking hell. Here I was really in her corner when you started that story.
Yeah.
I do like them though. I think the actual line is not her anymore. You know, she's met someone who's the most boring person in the world. She can't have that on a body now, can she? So there you go. Yeah, so that's fun facts. Fun facts for you about my wife. She won't listen to this, so she'll be all right. We're on Karen now, aren't we?
Karen, I think. Yeah.
Great choice, by the way, Dom. I liked them when I was younger as well. So yeah.
All right.
Well, it's not going to take too much predicting what I'm going to say here. My favourite band in the world ever are Marillion. So much as I love Meshuggah and Mastodon, I'm afraid Marillion are always going to win this. And my favourite album is The Mighty Brave from 1994. Spoken about that a couple of times on here. I won't do it again.
Well, I mean, the only other band I really thought I didn't think about it too long were Motley Crue, actually, but they disappointed me a lot as well. but Metallica have as well. Really, they've disappointed me a bit. But again, like Jam said, I can't argue with that early stage, especially the two, maybe 3 albums. I do really like Ain't Justice for All, but Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets are just like, man, I just can't get enough of those albums. They are so classic. So I've gone with Metallica.